Welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. So excited to be with you on a Saturday talking real estate. It is December. It's hard to believe that. December 1st. I was past that now when we're airing the show, but it was when December hit, it was reality of the holidays. So it's officially upon us, guys. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you had a great week, and thank you for tuning in to Real Estate with Ryan. We got a good show for you. As always, we're going to start with some congrats. Some new listings, a lot of activity as we close out the end of the year of 2022. Is that hard to believe? 2022. Days away from a new year. What do you think, guys? Has a year flown by? A lot of things going on, a lot of activity, a lot of things happening in the real estate market, as you know, from the summer all the way to the end of the year, and we're projected the first quarter of the year. Staying busy, busy, busy. Our team's consistently in December, it always seems like, well, you say, Ryan, can we take a break? Can we take a few minutes off? Well, no. Before you know it, we're next for the first year here in January, and then there's a fury of homes coming on the market. Why? Because we know people need places to live. We've got people relocating. We talked about it on my show a couple weeks ago. We said, okay, why is the fall and the winter the best time to put the home on the market? I said, number one reason is relocation, guys. Guys that are relocating from across the area, they've got to start a new business or the new job or getting close to family, and they want to do that by the holidays or the first of the year. So it's a good opportunity to put your home on the market and sell. Before we get an idea of kind of where the market is, we know that the Feds have kind of been involved in the interest rates and everything that's going on. And I want to give you an update on where the rates are today. A lot better than they were 2 weeks ago. Conventional rates are about 6.375, and that's 0 points for a 30-year conventional loan. Our FHA is down dramatically at 6% for a 30-year. That's really good. Our VA for our veterans at 6.125, and our adjustable rate mortgage is 6.625. Our jumbo for our luxury buyers and sellers, about 7%. So those are our updated rates. They're down considerably versus about a couple weeks ago. So I think that all sets the tone now that we're past election time frame. First quarter of 2023. It's hard to say that, 2023. They're expected Fannie Mae to say somewhere in the mid-4s. Now, nobody really knows where the market goes, but we know we've got inventory about 3,900 homes on the market. So it's a good thing. So we get a healthy amount of inventory in the market that's pretty low still. We have buyers that are still relocating across the country, and a lot of opportunities to purchase and sell in this market. I had a client of mine that we listed just this week, and they said, Ryan, what's the market like? That's kind of a loaded question that we get. And I tell them, as I tell you guys every week, I said, the market's really good, believe it or not. Obviously, there's been a change in the market a tad, but we have an opportunity where the first time where buyers and sellers can actually have a moment to look at the property. We can actually, on our team, get a chance to do all of our marketing to get it out to the most amount of people. And believe it or not, that marketing's working. Just the other day, we had a couple offers on a property, and then something fell through on one, and then we're back to multiple offers on it again. So just know that the market changes. We don't change. You know, with marketing, that's the key in getting the home out to the right people, especially when you're in a state like ours, Tennessee. We have such a strong out-of-state market that's relocating this area, and that really haven't seen a whole lot of slowdown to the last couple months, and we expect that to project in 2023. Before I get going too much, I got to do some congrats, and we'll get into our show. But you guys, you're going to like our show. So although the homes aren't flying off the shelf as quickly as they have, what do you do? 12 reasons, likely things why your home is not selling. So 12 likely reasons your home's not selling, and then we're going to tell you what to do about it and how we can get your home selling, if not in December, in the first part of 2023. So let's talk about our good new listing, 3930 Settlers Trail in Sevierville. Great new property with a basement. Can't tell you, she's into antique cars. Nick was looking, she's a beautiful antique car with that baby blue was in the garage. She's going to get rid of it. She said, Ryan, the hardest thing I'm going to have to do is not be here when that antique car leaves. So she's going to miss it. She's going close to family. New listing coming on December 8th. Make sure you check that property out. 2016 Blue Bonnet Drive, new listing coming up. Mountain Grove Lane, several acres out there, 20 plus acres. A lot of opportunity for development. Subdivision, but you can build your own forever home. There's the opportunity there. 204 Reese Drive, price improvement. Gillespie Avenue, Congrats, under contract. 375 Powell Lane, congrats, under contract. 5818 Trestle Way. Great sellers out there. Thank you for your patience and kindness. We got the right buyer. We'll talk about that today for your condo. Put that under contract. And then congrats to sold. We sold some land out in Burt Newman, several acres in Knoxville, and 178 Emerald Point Way. Sold in Rockwood in record time. And then a couple of little snags at the end, a little stressful. They actually had a little moving issue with the window. We won't talk about that, but got it all fixed, got it all worked out, and everybody's closed and happy. And so congrats to all you guys, and thank you for the trust on such a big move. All right, into the show, guys. Hope you're doing well. Let's talk about things that you need to do when the property is on the market. So, Ryan, one of the first things I do, I'm calling my agent. Why is it not sold? And you guys in the business and a lot of my agents that are my colleagues out there, you're probably listening to the show and you're probably getting those calls. I think if you're in the market and been doing the business for a while, I think we're going 23, 24 years, at least 23 in the business, you see the cycles. And if you've been there a time or two, you understand that as the market's really hot, everybody's happy, selling quick, pretty much under contract, getting amazing prices, right? It's a great time here at Hometown Realty. The longer that a property sits on the market, there's a lot more opportunity to have conversations, but there's a lot of nervousness in the market, right? And so a lot of things that go on with the marketplace is nervousness, news media, economy, gas, we're not going to have any food, railroad shortage, railroad's going to go on strike. So all these things come into play, and then the feds come in. We got the interest rates, and so all these make a lot of nervousness in the market. So what we're doing in our business is really have an opportunity to have a conversation back to a market that is more normal, market that has some challenges. But with anything, they change. Real estate is timing. At the right time, you find the right property, boom, you get an amazing deal. You get your forever home. Sell at the wrong time. You don't have the right team, right marketing, wrong advice. Then you may sit on the market for 6 or 8 months and not sell. Just had a conversation with a gentleman. He was on the market for a little while. Great opportunity, but there was just some things that could be done differently to get that home sold. And then so we talked about that, and we're going to be able to execute a plan. So, there's one thing I want to take away from this show and want you guys to understand. When you have your home on the market, obviously you want to find that perfect buyer. And I always say there's a buyer for every home. And it makes sense, right? There's a buyer for every home, and it only takes one. So remember, if your home's not selling the first time or not on the market getting the right offer, remember it only takes one. So I wanted to focus on our show today. Remember, we're looking for that one, and how can we do that? Obviously, homes linger a little bit on the market for a combination of reasons. Number one, you may hear in our industry, first thing you hear is, it's your price. It's price. Hey, Ryan, it's not selling, drop the price. Well, that's an opportunity. And sometimes that is true, especially when you have a market that's changing. You do want to look at your price and make sure it's not conditioned. Sometimes it's not the price, but we have one great property, a little bit of opportunity there. But the biggest factor is what? It's back to the interstate. So the property lines up not far from the interstate. The noise, we've had several issues with the feedback about that. So what do? Is there anything that the sellers can do? Maybe, maybe not, but more than likely, we want to make sure that we're factoring those items into your list price. If you have an interstate in the back, we want to make sure that we're doing a real market evaluation of the property and knowing, okay, are there other similar homes in the subdivision that back up to the interstate, and what did they sell for? And have they sold recently? What can we do? So those conversations. So 54% of agents that have seen properties in the summer are talking about that they're backing out of contracts. And why is that? Buyer's remorse too. Going into that, the price is high, overpaid, had an opportunity, the rates have raised up. And guess what? Now they're getting cold feet. So we're seeing some of that as well. Understanding that that is an important part of a changing cycle. What can we do to correct that? Well, in today's market, I have a lot of sellers, and in the market as a whole, as a seller, you want to get the most amount of money. It's so important to get the most amount of money. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into our properties, especially if they're our residents, our homes, our kids. We raised our kids there. We have a lot of memories. And if it's an investment property, Ryan, I'm doing investments for a reason. It's to make money, dinero, Ryan. I want to make some cash. And the key is if I'm going to sell it, Ryan, I want to make money. So all those things come into place, and we have to fight for top dollar, but we also have to also know where we're at in the marketplace, that the market may be calling for something different. Remember, in real estate as a whole, buying land, condo, oceanfront property, mountain view property like in ours, a home or a property is worth what a buyer's willing to pay. Nobody's made you an offer. Those are indications that we need to talk about and how we can get the property under contract. We got a break. Stay with us. We got more with Real Estate with Ryan.
Success is achieved on the practice field. This is where I perfect my craft. It's hours of preparation to ensure that I am game ready.
Real estate's no different. It takes preparation and a solid game plan to achieve the best results.
Whether you're watching a game
or buying or selling a home, trust your hometown experts.
Hometown Realty is East Tennessee's #1 real estate group and a proud sponsor of the Vols.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty. The real estate market's changing every day. You need to know your home's value in today's market. Text your home address to 290-2290 for an instant, no obligation home evaluation. That's 865-290-2290. And remember, when you're ready to sell, we have a guaranteed sale program to get you in your next home stress-free. Trust your hometown experts. We've helped thousands of people just like you. All right, back from a break. Thank you for staying tuned with us, Real Estate with Ryan. If you're tuning in the first time or catching us on break, we're talking about what? If your home's not selling in the market and it's changing, we're talking about 12 tips you can do to actually get it under contract and get it sold in 2023. That's probably safe. If your home's not sold, it's probably going to go under contract in a new year, but that's a good thing. Bring in 2023 with a bang. All right, we got our 60-second Vol update. We got to get through the second half pretty quick, so stay with me. Be real quick. We got Vols in the news. All right, drum roll, please. All right, men are playing a double hitter. Sunday, 6 p.m., the men play Alcorn State. But our Lady Vols are first. Ladies first, guys. Virginia Tech, 1 o'clock. So if you're out and around, make sure you check us out at the stadium over there, Thompson Bowling Arena. The men, again, 6 p.m. The ladies, 1 o'clock, doubleheader on Sunday. College football rankings, ranked number 7. We won't even talk about that with Alabama above us. But rankings will come out. We'll see where we land, hopefully for a good bid. I'm thinking Miami. We'll say Miami Orange Bowl. We'll see where we're at, okay? Heisman watch, Hendon Hooker, keep an eye on him. And then also, Hendon's also a finalist for the Walter Camp Football Foundation Award. Of course, Jalen Hyatt named finalist for the Biletnikoff Award. And that is your Vol update in a fast. Hometown Realty, proud sponsor of the Vols, your Tennessee realtor. Always got your back. Vols got a lot of things going on as we close out the end of the year. Talking about what? Now we're talking about a little real estate. Let's get back into the show. We could go all session for my Vols. We're big Orange fans, if you guys didn't know, and I know you guys are too. Real quickly, if you're tuning in for the first time and maybe just checking us out, or you're new to the area, so who's that guy on the radio? Well, it's Real Estate with Ryan. My name's Ryan Coleman, owner, founder of Hometown Realty, and we do this show called Real Estate with Ryan, where we talk about real estate, no politics, just fun stuff, talking about real estate. And you can catch us on News Talk 98.7 at 1 o'clock, and tongue-tied, Talk Radio at 92.3 FM at 11 o'clock. And then if you didn't catch us, we're on Spotify, iTunes, and Google, on the App Store. And of course, we're always streaming on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So we've got a lot of opportunities if you're out with the kiddos. We're coaching basketball for our daughter. Catch us on a replay. We love to catch you on the audience and see what you think of the show. And the reason we do this show, guys, if we could ever be of help, we're always here for you. Okay? All right, let's talk about it. So we talk about pricing. We know, Ryan, pricing's always an issue. That's what you guys say. It's always a price. Drop my price, Ryan. Well, if I could drop my price, I really don't need you. I'm with you. Don't get grumpy. It's the holidays. Ho, 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 ho. But it is that time, right? And you guys understand, with the market, we got a lot of tensions. Let's talk about how we can solve those problems and address that. Number one, if you got a specific problem to address, let's talk about how we can do that. So if we have something that we've got feedback on consistently, whether it's the puppies who've got the dog odor, Well, that could be an issue. Maybe we've got crazy room colors. We've got the purples and the greens, and for whatever reason, we're getting that feedback. Let's go ahead and make those changes so we don't keep incurring those same feedbacks. That's so important, I think, with the process. And then understand that, not every buyer is the same. And sometimes you guys may have a property. We talked about one of our shows prior was you may put the home on the market and it needs a little work, a little TLC. Maybe you're looking for the right buyer or the wrong buyer. Because if your property needs a little love, needs some work, maybe it's an investor that we're looking for, and we need to have our ads and our marketing that is targeted to that particular buyer type, okay? Also, investors are a different type of buyer than a homeowner. So those are opportunities that you may be looking for the wrong buyer, especially talking about off-market sales and things like that. So we have a lot of opportunity. And the investor is a different type of buyer. And a lot of them are cash, and there's still a lot of investors in the marketplace, especially with the rates coming down a little bit. What about if your home is unique, unconventional? So we have a lot of high-end properties where your luxury buyer, there are not as many of them. We have to have a targeting plan to reach that one specific buyer. That's so important when we're looking for luxury properties or unique properties. It all comes down to marketing and making sure that your agent has a marketing plan to reach the right type of buyer. Talk about staging. You say in this market, Ryan, last couple of years, we haven't had to do a whole lot of staging. Just kind of put it on the market and sold. But I had great clients that were in Knoxville I talked to yesterday. And we were looking at their property, and we're going to get together the first of the year. And he said, Ryan, we put the home on the market, we made some adjustments, and then we just kind of worked the price down. Well, a lot of times, 87% of buyers are going to start their marketing online, and the house was empty. It was beautiful, but there's also a time where you can stage the property. Because if this is a homeowner, and we're looking to buy my forever home, or maybe I'm downsizing. This is one level, had an opportunity for that one level, where we want to get away from steps, Ryan. Want to get away from steps, we'll make it smooth, easy transition, but I'm close to everything. I'm close to doctors. This is a house for me. Having a home stage not only increases showability, gets greater feedback, and of course that buyer plays into the sympathy of, hey, it's my home. I can picture myself here. We have a lot of neutral colors. The furniture looks amazing. And we have some great staging teams in my office. What we do to get properties that need to be staged, that really sell faster, especially if it didn't sell the first time around, to bring it back to market with that right impression and that right marketing touch. So staging is also opportunity. But are you staging the property at all? Do we need that? That's what we have to talk about. We always, Ryan, I always hear you talk about curb appeal. Well, it's because it's popular. And so let's see, here was the numbers. They did a survey from agents across the country, and they said that more than 75% of top agents across the country said that staging on the front part of your home, your landscaping, kind of that curb appeal, had a 1 to 10% increase in price. So curb appeal, beautifully landscaped homes were anywhere worth 1 to 10%. Hey, that might make sense to put a little more mulch, put a little greenery. We've got a property that's coming up in North Knoxville. What do? We're going to make it shine. We had to get the landscaping. Go to your landscape nursery, get some beautiful trees, spend the extra money to do that. It really made a big difference. Your photos, my marketing team, they're going to tell you. New mulch, new landscaping. Even if you go with some boxwoods in the winter, it's okay. It really makes a difference. The pictures jump off. When you get the showings, they're able to walk up and have that curb appeal. And it really does start setting the tone. That old saying, if they don't want to get out of the car and they don't feel inviting from the curb or online, guess what? You may be losing that showing. You may lose that call. And we already talked about in the first part of the show, what happens? It only takes one. So these are things that we can do. About your listing marketing, your photos. They look like cell phone. You took them with your cell phone. It's blurry. You don't have the wide angle lens. They're all pushed in. And so many of my clients say, Ryan, when I buy a property online, the photos, they never tell the truth about the property. They're just, not that they're deceiving, but they always make the home look so big when you get into it's tiny. Valid. But having a digital marketing strategy for your home is key. So having professional photography, videography, drone photos of the neighborhood. Also, why is that important? Because a lot of people we talked about or my out-of-staters are coming out of state. So we have to show the community. What we want to do is a good opportunity to have a walkthrough of the property that everybody can see it. And what we do specially for every listing that we have is we want to make sure that they can walk through from the comfort of their own home. It's getting Christmas time. Have an opportunity that we have views that are also online in your couch, kind of just looking at property and people out of state. So with our walkthrough tour technology, not only we're able to get physical showings, but we're able to get out of state showings. So if you don't have that marketing, you definitely want to make sure that you have that opportunity to do that. Let's talk about if your house needs a little bit of a makeover. Run through these pretty quickly. You know, marketing is key. Print media, the home magazine ads and all those things. If you do those, open houses, that's all great, but it's really not going to get the results that you need. In today's market, it's digital, and it's having a game plan that's making sure you're reaching the masses, especially our out of state. And if you're not doing that, you may be missing out 38% of buyers in that property. You know, it comes down to your advice. We do this show all the time. What's the number one thing that you can do? Is have a great agent in your corner, a team. Real estate is always location, location. But we talked about having that one buyer, but now we've got to find that buyer. As the market changes, what is your strategy? What are we doing to increase showings? And do we have a plan? Because a lot of plans that we've seen the last 2 or 3 years is what? I'm going to put a sign in the yard, put it in the MLS, and I'm going to hope somebody else sells it. Well, if that's the marketing strategy as you go into 2023, it may not work, and it may not get the results that you need. Or you may see selling your property, leaving money on the table. It's definitely not what you want to do. And number 12, as we close out the show, don't be a helicopter seller. I laughed. Where the seller's following you around the rooms on the showings, and we're out there and we're just really, really involved. Do me a favor. Let the buyers come through. Let them look at the property and engage with no feedback from the seller. It's the best way to do it. Let the agents that you hire, professionals, do their job so we can get this done for you and get it sold in 2023. I hope you've enjoyed the show. If you needed to call us for anything, it's the best number in real estate. It's 693-SOLD. You can check us out online at ryancoleman.org. Hope you guys have a great December and a great week. We'll talk to you next week.